Hello, FCS 2250 computer application students, to lesson 11. Lesson 11, we're going to get into Access Database. We have two assignments. Please make sure you're very vigilant about their due dates, and let's go ahead and get started. Here we are in our directions, and like clockwork, we have some terminology. I know there's a few terms, but we only have one lesson for Access, so there's a few words there. And then we get into the project itself, and yes, we do have data files. Now, I've already downloaded those data files, so that way I can spend a little bit more time on the project and showing you a little bit about databases. So if you need a refresher, please go back to a previous lesson where we had data files, and you can refresh your memory there. So I'm going to go ahead and open up databases here. And first of all, this is our navigation pane over here, and we can close that navigation pane or we can open it. So if you ever see, well, where's my navigation pane, where's all my tables and queries, you can open that up. And first of all, our Access database has tables, and this is where you would create all sorts of data that you would input. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Account. We have all these different accounts. It's going to open up this account table. And we have from there account numbers. Every account has an account number, just like you have an account number with your hospital, with your insurance agent, with your cell phone company. Everybody has an account number. Here's the account name. So you would have your name if you had your cell phone account, have your address, your city, your state, your postal code, and how much maybe you've paid, or how long you've been a customer for, and how much you owe them, how much is currently due, and what account manager has been assigned to your account. Now, this again is a number, AM representing account manager, and so when we open up our account manager table, we can see that if you were assigned number 31, that's Hayden. 35 is Mark, 42 is Peter, and 58 is Karen. We can see Karen's information. We can see her city, her state, her postal code, when she started, her salary, and her bonus rate. All right, so this is, again, just the data that you would put in. Then you could ask it a query. You can inquire information. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our query, and this basically has taken some information from our tables, and condensed it, because all we wanted to know is about a company's, what company they are, how much they paid us, and how much they owe us. And again, what account manager is assigned to that actual account. Queries are important for any databases. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know what the largest database is of all time? Anyone? Bueller? The internet. Yes, you guessed it. The internet is the largest database of all time. How in the world can we cipher through the internet to find the data that we want? With search engines. We inquire about things all the time, from natural disasters to what's going on with our weather to sports to whatever. We inquire all the time. So we go to our databases and we put that information in there. Now with Siri and Alexa and everything else, we just speak to them and they give us the information. But that is actually accessing the internet. All right, the biggest database of them all. So again, a query breaks some information down, and we can choose in that query what we want to portray. We can maybe just put down, okay, this account and where they're located. What state are they located? Maybe we don't care about how much they paid or current due. We just want to know where they're located in the U.S. Here's a form, and you've seen forms before. You've filled out forms online whenever you have signed up for a new service. They want to know your name, your email, your phone numbers, your address, possibly, all those good things. Would you like to link into your different accounts, such as your Facebook and your Instagrams and all those things? So here's the forms that you can easily change. So if Mom's Landscaping moved from 865 Ridge Road, we can simply come into this form and update that information. And before you go to your boss on that very important day where he wants to talk about numbers, you're going to print off a beautiful financial report. We have a nice header. It gives some field names here, and we have all that data there, and we've summed up, just like we did in Excel, we summed up that data. And so some people may say, why can't we do this in Excel? Excel is great for math, all right? However, a database is great for keeping track of all sorts of data. Again, if you have to walk into the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicle, to get new registration, they look your name up with probably your license number, they find the vehicle, all that data is now in a database. Very important, very powerful to companies. Companies seek data from their customers. And so if you can put on your ePortfolio, which we'll be making, any of this information that you can work with databases that you just can dabble in them a little bit. Hey, you can always go out to the internet, go to Google, go to YouTube, and find out more information about how to really get into databases. Microsoft has a great resource section as well with database. So expand your minds on them. Databases are very important. Okay, well with that, you guys, let's go ahead and start our actual project a little bit. Let's get it started. So I'm going to go to File. And let's see, let's try that again. She's getting warmed up. We'll go to File, and we're going to go to New. And when we go to New, we want a blank database. Now I'm on page AC4, and it basically told us to run Access, and we want a blank database. And should I create an Access app or an Access desktop database? Well, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to close this, you guys, because this is looking a little bit different than what I've seen before. And I'm going to open up a brand new database because that's probably what you guys are going to be doing. Let's do it that way. And give me a second. Database is opening. And let's try this again. So I'm going to open a blank database. All right. So here we are. We've got our blank database open, but we need to save it. So we've got to close this table, and that is closing it with this X right here. Not this X, that'll close the whole Access database, but we want to close that table. And we want to go to File, Save As. And now we want it to save as an Access database, the default database format. We're going to choose Save As. And we'll be patient. And here we go. So I'm going to go to my desktop and my FCS 2250. This is my lesson 11. I've already created my folder. And according to direction number 2 on page AC4, they want us to save this as Pratt Last Associates. Pratt Last, one word. All right, and choose Save. Okay, enable content, please, if you have to. And then we over on page AC5, they just have some different information about to create a database using a template. We're going to go ahead and skip that. We're going to go ahead and turn the page to, I'm turning the page as you can probably hear me. We're going to be over on AC10 to modify the primary key. But since we closed that table, we need to open up another one. So please do me a favor. I know this isn't in your directions, but choose Create and Table. And now it looks like where we have been before. So here we are. And it looks like what we are looking at in figure 1.3, and it says right click the column heading for the ID field to display a shortcut menu, figure 1.3. ID, you're going to put your mouse right on top of ID, right click, and we have our shortcut menu. Now looking at direction number 2, it says click rename the field. All right, and we want to type in account manager number. All right, and I know that doesn't fit in that cell right now, but don't worry about it. We'll do some formatting later, as you know we will. So click the white space immediately below the name. So where it says new, white space right below the name to complete the addition of the field. Direction 3 says because the data type needs to be changed from auto number to short text, click the data type arrow, table tools field, fields, our formatting group. We're going to change the auto number to short text. All right. And what we're going to do now is direction number 4 says click the short text, which I just did. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Number 5 says click the field size text box, table tools, fields, properties, field size. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight 255, and I want to only be able to have 2 numbers for our account managers. Just like our state, MI, FL, CA. If you've ever tried to type or spell out Michigan, you've probably filled out a form where, nope, it won't let me type anymore. Oh, they probably just want MI. Or your zip for 49087 or wherever your zip is. It won't let you continue to enter numbers and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing here. We only want 2 things to be typed in by its users. All right, so we've done that. And now the second bullet says click the name and caption button. Click the name and caption button right here. All right. And we want to display to enter the field properties dialog box. All right. And then it says to click the caption text box and then type AM in capital letters standing for, you guessed it, account manager. And then we need a unique identifier. So we need a description here, and that tells us to type in unique identifier of account manager. All right, go ahead and choose OK. All right, so now you see where it just says AM for account manager number. All right, and we have our field size, we have our short text, and I think we're ready to rock and roll. So now we're going to click to add the column heading. Click to add the column heading, and what we want to do is a display menu appears. I'm flipping the page now to AC12, direction number 2. Click short text. All right, we can do that. And now we want to type last name. So we're naming our field name. So anything in this column is going to be related to last name. Click the blank space below. All right, we're in our blank space below last name. So make sure you're below last name. And we're going to time to select the field. And then as we did in figure 110, we've done that. Direction 3 says change the field size to 15. So if somebody's last name is more than 15 letters, I apologize. But our forms are not going to let us go more than 15. And then it says using the same technique, add the remaining fields in the account manager table for the first name, street, city, state, and all those good things as shown kind of in figure 111. So I am going to pause this video and I'm going to work on doing that. Okay, sorry everyone. I know I don't have mine finished like I wanted to, but I jumped the gun a little bit. I read more of the direction. You have to look back at table, not figure, but table 1.3. Now that's on page AC9. So you've got to go back a little bit, and that's where it tells you what you need to put in for the rest of your data here. For example, we just already put in our last name short text at 15. Now we're on first name short text at 15. Street short text at 20. City short text at 20, and so on and so forth. So I'll be back here in a little bit when I'm done with that and answer a few more questions. Okay, I finished my field names from table 1.3, and I'm just going to run through them real quick. Now, we've already worked on our account manager. Field size 2 is short text. Our last name is going to be short text as well. Field size is 15. Our first name is 15. Our street is short text, but it jumps up to 20 in the field size. City jumps up to 20, or stays at 20. State now goes back down to 10. Again, MICA, wherever your state is. Our postal code, short text, is now at 5 for the numbers. Our start date is date and time. We changed our data type now to date and time. Our salary, currency. And lastly, our bonus rate. We wanted a number, but then it also asked for the format. So make sure you get that fixed. And it also wants 2 decimal places right there. So you want to make sure that you get yours to the 2 decimal places right there. So there is our beginning of our database of creating this table. This is very important to make sure that you have all of those done correctly. So with that said, we now are going to click the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar. Well, I don't have my Save button option. Oh, there it is. I apologize. Right there. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now we're actually saving the table. We're not saving the database. We've already done that. We're just saving the name of this particular table. And what we want to do is we're going to say this is Account Manager, as it says in direction number 2, and then click OK. Our table now appears our Account Manager. We have all of those column headings. So we now, you guys, are on our way. We're going to switch views. Let me show you that real quick. I only got about 30 seconds. We'll be using this different views a lot. So we are in our data sheet view. Now we're in our design view. All right. And again, this kind of gives us the information that we kind of just put in. Look at our field sizes. Look at our start date. All right, our salary is currency, our bonus rate is fixed. All right, and so that is where we are. So I'm about out of time. If you ever need to get back to your other view, your data sheet view, you're going to be working on some stuff. You're going to import some data.